Thank you very much for watching this video. Before we begin, I wanted to include a disclaimer, as I include in my about section as well as in the description of this video. All of my readings are for entertainment purposes only. They are never, ever meant to diagnose, treat, or otherwise have any influence upon your own medical issues or situations that you may have. I always encourage everyone to make their own sound decisions, including legal matters, financial matters, and every other matter in your own life. These are for entertainment purposes only. As these are general tea leaf readings, again, it makes sense, therefore, that some of this information will resonate with you and some of it may not. You may find that some applies and some doesn't. That is completely normal and to be expected, as these are general tea leaf readings. So again, take what you will and leave what you don't, and simply enjoy your reading and hope that you find it informative and insightful. Thank you. Hi, I'm Sarah, your coffee drinking TV theater. How are you doing? I hope that your day is going really well and that your entire month of August so far is also just being amazing for you. This is a general bi-weekly TV reading for the weeks of August the 14th and 21st. How insane is that to even say? Of 2023. Crazy. The next TV reading that we'll be doing is for next week and the following week, which is September. How is it September almost already? I'm not pushing the summer at all by any means. It's just like, wow, time is just really going by fast. I don't know about you. Crazy. Anyway, let's look at the tea leaves and see what the universe would like us to know for the next 2 weeks. And quickly before I do, just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your likes, your views. Thank you so much for all of your support, for watching the previous videos that I have posted so far on this channel. Just getting myself caught up from my very minor but very annoying and painful medical thing that happened back in July. It just really delayed me from posting and recording anything. So I'm just gotten caught up now, and now we're pretty much caught up now. So thank you so much again. I truly appreciate that, all of your patience and support. And now let's look at the tea leaf reading that we have right here. And this is for, again, the weeks of August the 14th and 21st. And for your reference, here are the tea leaves, and I will post pictures of the tea leaves at the end of this video also for your reference. So let's take a look and see. I haven't even looked at them yet. You just got a preview. And let's start. Now, I do have my ring light turned up as bright as it will possibly go. So if I don't look in the camera that much, that is the reason why. My eyes are a little bit sensitive to light sometimes. This is one of those moments. And I truly hope that you enjoy this tea leaf reading and that you find it to be helpful and inspiring and informative and hopefully a little bit insightful as well. Okay, let's start. Quick reminder that I read chronologically, so in terms of the tea leaves, the prim is the present situation, the sides are on the way, and the base is more of the distant future. So it really is like a now, on the way, and later. So in terms of this tea leaf reading, the rim is representing tomorrow, Monday, August the 14th, around the midway mark is August the 21st, and then the base is looking into next weekend and heading into the following week. I would say that at the beginning of this week, 2 main events or situations taking place, which are rather significant, and it really seems to be a situation of things are calm and clear and quiet, and we're happy with that, and or we want things to get moving a little bit more. In addition to that, it does appear as though as well that this week really begins rather busily. There's many different events and situations taking place, in addition to these 2 main scenarios where things are kind of quieter and we're happy with that, and or we want things to get moving. But generally speaking, in addition to that, there are several other different scenarios where things are actually quite busy. There's a lot of action and momentum and things taking place rather quickly as well. This is also, I would say, especially true or pertains to one scenario in particular. It looks initially as like it's one scenario, but on closer inspection, there's actually 2 different scenarios that applies to. One of those scenarios is actually quite short term, does not last for very long. However, there is a sense, I would say, of stability present. There may be the letter A involved, a person, place, or thing. But I would say more than anything, there's stability involved, as well as the angels are being referenced. There's a number 4. 4 means, to me, it means angels and stability. Sense of going within, introspectiveness associated with that, and it does again look like a positive scenario. Messages, news, and or information, communication arriving regarding this situation, and looks like we're pleased with it. It does involve something to do with getting things organized, cleanliness, getting things tidied up in some way, shape, or form. This also has a connection with a new fortuitous partnership that likely involves communication and possibly writing in some way. This helps to create a sense of unconventional stability. Sometimes people ask me what I mean by that. I use examples a lot because I find that when I do tea leaf reading, it really conveys what I'm trying to say, because even if I am reading for a client specifically, I don't know what information exactly is being conveyed. That's what tea leaf reading does, in my opinion, in my experience. I've read for clients now for over 13 years. Myself, examples, again, convey meanings quite well. So, for example, unconventional stability means to me something in the effect of where we do have security and stability. It's just different and unique. So for example, you paint boxes, you sell them online and make money. It gives you a sense of security and stability. It's just different. So that's what I mean by unconventional stability. So back to the reading. As well as reassurance. There may be a very short-term scenario, a very temporary scenario where we're maybe not entirely, in a way, it's really a matter of perspective, I would say. In a way, we're quite happy with it. In a way, we're quite not happy with it. If we have any sense of discontentment with it, I would say that does not last long at all. And it really is a matter of perspective. Glass half full, glass half empty. Solid and clear awareness of whatever situation we are currently experiencing. There's a sense of, yes, introspectiveness and also potentially learning as well. We are researching, learning, reading material in whatever way or shape or form that may be. There's a helpful individual. This may involve documentation or paperwork that's connected or related rather to that individual. This may be a new creative project of some kind, making new things, creativity in some way, shape, or form. This all helps to create a scenario that involves a house. So you may be thinking of moving property, buying a property, whatever that situation may be, but property is involved, I would say. It's not quite time, we're not quite ready yet, but it is on the way, it is being shown, which is great. Person, place, or thing with the letter T involved, and R, so T and R. Also like a magical, fun, exciting, happy time. Possibly a Scorpio connection is involved with this, but it is very positive. It's very unique because this entire scenario, as short term as it is, and as seemingly separate as it is from this main event or situation, which is being shown in the leaves, it's actually related to it. It does not appear to be related, but it really is related. It's somehow, everything that I just said is part of the short-term scenario, and it's related to the main event or situation by a sense of stability. I'm seeing something to do with this sense of stability that's involved in these two scenarios. And this main event or situation does have a connection with property as well that does look more stable or solid or promising or significant in some way, shape, or form. Whatever this other scenario involved it's referencing some kind of property that just isn't quite ready or prepared yet, but this main event or scenario or situation does have property being indicated at the beginning of it, and it does look to be quite good. It's forming very nicely. It's almost all ready to go. a sense of stability with this, possibly a little unconventional, but present. So that's good. Some kind of happiness is associated with this entire scenario. Multiple things taking place. This is what I just said a few minutes ago. Whatever the situation is on Monday, thereabouts, there's just many different things all happening all at once, and that's related to this scenario. Now, it also very well likely may be a scenario where there's just a lot of talking, a lot of thinking, a lot of words are taking place, conversations, things of that nature. And that does continue for a very short period of time. I would say like within a day or at most two, based on what I'm seeing. And then after that, things become more stable, more clear, more action and momentum. Things are more moving forward more readily. Different ways of saying the same thing. There's likely a Cancerian connection. Now I know that we are in the sign of Leo, which is actually my astrological sign. But there is a Cancerian connection involved in this scenario. So that's a person, place, or thing. It may even be the qualities and or characteristics of that sign, which is more like the home and family, healing, emotions, intuition, things, parenting, things along those lines. But I keep seeing this sense of unconventional stability. It's regarding property in some way. It's a good situation. It's a good scenario. Also involves thinking differently. And there's a helpful individual. Maybe they're not quite ready yet, or maybe they're hidden. There's something to that effect, but they are present. This is all helping to create a scenario specifically that looks, again, to be quite positive. Action and momentum. Things are taking place rather quickly. Messages, news, communication is present. Some connection with unconditional love, support, loyalty, and commitment, and a lot of momentum, things taking place rather quickly, action with that specifically in some way. And it looks positive. I'm going to say what I'm going to say next to not be repetitive for the rest of this tea leaf reading. Many helpful people. So it keeps appearing in different places. So repeatedly in different events or situations throughout this reading. So I'm just saying that right now, so I'm not going to be repetitive, saying that like 15 times. But that is the case here. In this situation specifically, however, there is likely someone who is a fire sign. So I know, like I just mentioned, we are in Leo. Leo is a fire sign. So other astrological signs that are fire are Aries and Sagittarius. So I'm no astrologer or numerologist, but. And there's forward movement, nothing holding you back. This individual is likely a male, and this is a helpful individual in some way. But there's also a Cancerian connection, so they may be a fire sign, but they're very loving and nurturing. Maybe they're a parent, something to that effect. And they are related to this house move with like that hidden individual that I just mentioned a few moments ago. The one sense of happiness, but really yes, I keep seeing references to stability. There's someone in here being referenced, possibly a water sign, someone who's rather wise. I don't know if this is male or female, but this involves communication. It's related to what I just mentioned about maybe the hidden individual, the fire sign. It's related to that. There's a scenario in here that's being referenced that is a new opportunity. This whole main event or situation begins with a new opportunity. This is part of where the thinking and talking, and then everything becomes more clear after that I said a few minutes ago. Glass half full versus glass half empty. Reassurance. There's some connection with heritage that's being indicated. Heritage, ancestry, receiving good things, a new opportunity, and unconventional stability. That's really what I'm seeing here. And property as well. It's helping to create a scenario at the beginning of this entire scenario at the beginning of this week where there's unconditional love, support, loyalty, as well as commitment. A magical time, extremely unique, very loving, open and close communication. If there is any discontentment, I would say that it is rather short term, and it really is glass half full versus glass half empty. And if there is any sense of discontentment, it's sort of like, well, right after that, there's a lot of happiness and things are moving ahead, but it really seems to be a matter of perspective. That involves likely a person with the letter L in their name. A sense of going within, a connection with yourself, inward connection with the divine, whatever that may be for yourself. There may be a significance around possible additions to the family. Now that could be receiving something positive. So whether that is people coming into the family in whatever way that is, or whether that's like more wealth or material wealth coming into the family, although I would say it's more likely people or someone specifically entering the family. That involves the letter W, as well as action and momentum. Small positive change. Letter M, abundance and prosperity and new opportunity that's being contemplated. I will say quickly that there are many surprises, especially as this event or situation unfolds during the next 2 weeks. And it really is a situation, again, where we sort of, like the last tea leaf reading for the past 2 weeks, we know where we stand, and yet we don't at the same time. It's like we know that we're going to, for example, going to college on a certain day, but all of the details that surround that or that are included with that, we don't really have any idea. New opportunity, a new beginning, especially as pertains to this heartfelt and loving scenario. It seems like some of us are receiving repeatedly communication, messages, news, and or information. Specifically, there looks to be 4 instances of receiving communications, however that is received. This is related to the possible water sign connection that I mentioned a few minutes ago. And that results in a scenario where there is abundance and prosperity, a helpful individual, forward movement, a surprise, and essentially 2 new opportunities that are being thought about. A new opportunity that involves the letter C, maybe G, but C, and a new beginning and 2 small conclusions. But it also does involve, again, abundance and prosperity, helpful individuals that literally may be involving or a connection with a relation to children, new pregnancies, new additions to the family. From what I'm seeing, there is a departed loved one that is being referenced. This is a general bi-weekly tea leaf reading, so please take this for what you will. Looks like a positive scenario. This is someone likely who was very studious or worked with documents or paperwork of some kind. Likely tall, thin, tall and lean. Stable. They may have been an earth sign. They were stable. Wish I could give more information, but really that's what I'm seeing in terms of information about that individual. Positive scenario though, and there's communication surrounding that individual. It pertains to this individual scenario. Unconventional stability, forward movement, things going forward easily, nothing really holding us back. There's a possible Scorpio connection. Now, if it's not a person, place, or thing with Scorpio, then it's this sense of like a new change, transformation of some kind. Communication, abundance, happiness. Letter L, things blossoming beautifully with the letter L, person, place, or thing. That involves the letter W, open communication as well. Action and momentum. Forward movement, nothing really stopping us. I keep seeing that. There's a situation from what I'm seeing that involves the letter M, person, place, or thing, where that is also true. That involves reassurance and almost like a matriarchal female authority figure who is a woman, possibly the number 3 involved in some way. And also the sense of introspectiveness, going within, doing your research, reading, whatever the case may be. Abundance and prosperity is associated with that, as well as thinking differently and maybe even a sense of triumph. Things are going well with that. Happiness. Magical time. I keep seeing that different, unique, happy scenario that involves unconditional love, support, commitment, loyalty, guardianship, protection. Those qualities being present. Surprises the whole way through. Surprises for this next couple of weeks, especially as the weeks progress. I would say namely the beginning of next week. There's a situation happening around that time that involves, yes, unconditional love, support, loyalty, guardianship, protection, commitment, those kinds of qualities. And also a significant surprise that involves a helpful individual, likely a male who is a fire sign, and working with many people. Property that's involved, someone who is involved in a property. It's just that the situation is still working itself out. There may be a Jewish or a Hebrew connection, a sense of really reaping what we sow, almost like we're harvesting, like we're getting what we are getting the rewards. We are receiving the rewards of our hard work. There's a situation where that's being indicated. Again, it's around the same time. It's around the beginning or so of next week. It's a lovely looking, interesting surprise, but we're not supposed to know obviously what it is because it's a surprise. The leaves are grouped very, very tightly. I can't see what's inside of those scenarios. Reassurance is being indicated with that though. The letter E, helpful individuals, open communication. House, property, person, place, or thing with a letter L involved. Someone who is working behind the scenes, I would say, in some way. Fortuitous, wise woman, where abundance and prosperity is being indicated. Protection, new beginnings, something to do with Aries or Taurus. There's a connection there. Person, place, or thing, or the qualities of those signs. Next week, there is abundance and prosperity. Partnerships being formed, especially like this pertains to the area where things are still up in the air and being contemplated. Letter F and or S, so people, places, or things. That involves communication with 3 individuals, a new opportunity, open communication. Very loving scenario that is also abundant and prosperous. Remember at the beginning of this video I said I probably wouldn't say that there's many helpful people. Saying that again, but and also a real sense of forward movement, nothing really being held back or holding us back. Partnerships beginning to form very nicely, one specifically next week that involves the number 3. That to me, the numbers have many different meanings that may even have a specific meaning to you. If so, that's wonderful. For me, that also means like working with other people. Letter E and or F related to likely a woman who is very stable, very grounded. There's a connection with her and lineage, family in some way, shape, or form. A loving scenario at the end of next week. It looks to be happy. Person, place, or thing likely with the letter D that's involved. Quite likely a male who's doing computer work, paperwork, something to that effect. Letter J, person, place, or thing. Number 3. E, C, maybe F. Abundance and prosperity. That involves a conclusion. And then letter D, that involves stability. Positive changes. I keep seeing positive changes. Positive news. Communications. There's a significant surprise taking place as of now, from what I'm seeing, at the end of next week. So at the end of the week of August the 21st. So that involves working with many different people. Abundance and prosperity. Open communication, new beginnings. Letter Y, maybe the number 4. So stability, maybe the angels, maybe different significance with the number 4. Helpful people involved. This entire main event or situation, this is the main event or situation that I have been looking at. So I'm going to quickly now look at this side of the tea leaves, the teacup. Now this main event or situation does continue into next weekend and heading into next week. It involves a scenario where there are 3 significant or main situations. It actually seems to be almost one main scenario with 3 different parts to it. So there's a couple different ways that we could view that. Additionally, around the sides of this cup, there are 5 different scenarios in addition to this main event or situation. They are very much far less significant. They are just like individual events or scenarios that really don't appear to be very important or meaningful or very related at all. However, around the beginning or so, maybe even midweek of next week, it seems like they do sort of merge and result in another scenario that is related to this main event or situation. It is very much largely comprised of a lot of conversations, things to be decided, things are still up in the air, very much so with that. Communication, messages like receiving communication is present. It looks to be a fairly happy scenario. Like there's a happy face. A small reminder for perspective, partnership forming. Number 3 is involved as well. It looks like a positive scenario. It's just that it's just not very significant in comparison to the main event. Forward movement. By the end of next week, with that scenario, there are some surprises that are present as well. One of them involves a new opportunity, as well as thinking analytically, using our intellect with that. It involves communication with 3 individuals that is related to an opportunity of some kind. It's positive. Number 4 is presented yet again. There may be an American connection in some way, shape, or form. Abundance and prosperity. Helpful individual. There also may be a Libran connection in some way, shape, or form related to the opportunity with the 3 individuals that I just mentioned. Abundance and prosperity. Lots of surprises. Working with many people. Property. Helpful people. Letter B. Person, place, or thing. With Aries and or Taurus connection. Communication involving forward movement. Property. Many people involved with that. Helpful people. Letter B, person, place, or thing, with Aries and or Taurus connection. Communication involving forward movement. Situation that involves harmoniousness and love that is related to abundance and prosperity. It's a good scenario. Open communication, forward movement, like a knight in shining armor is involved. The qualities of like love and being gallant. Protection, compassion, going for what you want to have, not being held back, action, forward, momentum. A helpful individual who is a fire sign, also very positive and loving. I keep seeing there may be a scenario where there is a romance taking place next weekend or heading into next week. It's positive. It either is fast paced, like it happens rather quickly, and or there is someone who is a fire sign involved, and if so, I would say from what I'm seeing, it's the male in the scenario who is the fire sign. Person, place, or thing with the letter A that is involved, the letter E, letter M, and 3, Aries and or Taurus yet again, and letter S, and letter C, and letter A. There seems to be a great amount of joy and happiness and just celebrations. It looks fairly lighthearted, even though we're really not supposed to know a lot. From what I am seeing, it does look to be fairly positive, very good, and a possible romance blooming for someone. That is very exciting. And it does look positive from what I'm seeing. Yeah, looks good. There also may be some form of a creative project, or if not a creative project, then someone who is expecting a new member of the family. And if so, congratulations to you. My congratulations. It's so exciting. I'm going to leave it there. Barrage of information. I know there's so much in here. It's going to be, from what I'm seeing, kind of a crazy next couple of weeks. And it looks like next weekend, heading into the following week, is not going to be too much different. I will say quickly that there is likely a female involved significantly next weekend, heading into next week, and that there is a Scorpio connection with her. But there's this creative energy, this new beginning, this creating something new seems to be very prevalent next weekend and heading into the following week. Also, the letter, again, S and or number 5 is present. Partnerships, again, are very present. So I hope that everyone has such an amazing couple of weeks, and I am so excited to see what comes up for the leaves for the next tea leaf reading for the following week and heading into September. I'm curious. if you fall in love and have an amazing, and you meet an amazing individual and you fall in love and you have a new relationship and you feel like letting me know, please let me know. I'm very curious now. Sounds exciting. Thank you so much again for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for your support, your wonderful comments, your likes, your subscribes, your views. I know they all may sound or seem rather simple. However, they make a huge, huge difference. It really helps with the algorithms. And thank you again so much from my heart for all of your support. It truly means the world to me. Have an amazing couple of weeks. I'm going to be posting more on my community tab in the next couple of weeks, as well as on my Patreon, catching up myself up on there, as well as heading over to TikTok and posting a few things over there, starting to get myself a little bit more active over on TikTok as well. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you. Please stay in touch and drop a comment in the comment section below if you feel so inclined. I always love chatting with you. I love you so much, and here is to an exciting couple of weeks in August. Love you muchly. Take care. Bye-bye.